newly elected House Speaker Mike Johnson has quite a history of hating on gay and trans people, as well as opposing the fundamental right to bodily autonomy. In fact, I'm going to go through a list here of things that he has written on the subject, written by Johnson himself. I'm going to share that with you just to show you who exactly is this person that Republicans in the House picked to represent them and why he's a perfect fit. Now, Johnson, before joining Congress, was in the Louisiana state legislature from 2015 to 2017. So he's relatively new to the House, and now he's second in line to the president. Quite a rise, quite a rise. So now, while he was serving in the Louisiana state legislature, he had actually introduced a so-called religious freedom bill to essentially legalize discrimination against married same-sex couples. So that's their version of religious freedom. Before that, he was a senior attorney and national spokesman for the Alliance Defending Freedom that was filing lawsuits against same-sex marriage, same-sex adoption, same-sex marital benefits. They also led a campaign against a day of anti-bullying. So they're like, no, we're pro-bullying. We're pro-bullying of gay people. In fact, Johnson said the day's anti-bullying message cloaked the, quote, real message that homosexuality is good for society. Oh, I see. So pro-bullying gay people, all right? And he's been doing it himself for quite some time. I'm going to share some articles here from all the way back in 2003, starting. Johnson wrote in a Louisiana paper blasting the Supreme Court for the decision in Lawrence v. Texas. Now, Lawrence v. Texas is actually the ruling that overturned anti-sodomy laws. It made them illegal. So Johnson said the ruling, quote, dealt a devastating blow to fundamental American values and millennia of moral teaching. Wait a minute. Isn't freedom a fundamental American value? Limited government? I don't know, it seems pretty fundamental, right? And look, there's no bigger government intrusion into your life than the police being able to knock down your door for getting a blowy, okay? Simple as that. That's what sodomy includes, okay? Sodomy is oral or anal intercourse, which is enjoyed by not just gay people, a lot of straight people. I know, right? Shocker. Oh my God. Are you kidding? Now, he also referred to gay sex as, quote, same-sex deviant sexual intercourse, and said it was a public health concern due to the exponential spread of STDs and HIV, which, by the way, he does know that you can get those, STDs or STIs now by having intercourse with the opposite sex, right? Unprotected. That's why, condoms, very, very useful. Very strong proponent of condoms. Not exclusive to homosexual couples, by the way. He also said that gay people should not be a protected class because they, quote, are capable of changing their abnormal lifestyles. I don't know about you, but I think it's really abnormal to be focusing on, what people are doing in their own bedrooms at all times, having them live rent-free in your head. But he said by closing these bedroom doors, the Supreme Court has opened Pandora's box. Translation, this man really wants into your bedroom. Seriously. Now, at the time, Johnson was working for the anti-LGBTQ plus hate group, Alliance Defending Freedom. No, of course, back then it was known as the Alliance Defense Fund. But, Alliance Defending Freedom sounds so much less horrible than Alliance Defense, which is just like, what are you defending? Anyway, in another op-ed written in 2005, Johnson argued against non-discrimination policies for LGBTQ couples, argued against them, I should say, describing the quote-unquote homosexual lifestyle as behavior patterns that are proven to be destructive to individuals, to families, and to society at large. Oh. Now look, same-sex marriage has been legal for some years now. I don't think the country is imploded. Okay, we have issues. We have a lot of issues. none of which are the result of two men or two women having relations with each other or being in marriages and relationships with each other. So, you know, I'm just saying. Society has not ripped itself apart at the seams. Okay. Now, he furthermore wrote, your race, creed, and sex are what you are, while homosexuality and cross-dressing are things that you do. This is a free country, but we don't give special protections for every person's bizarre choices. Now, I love the irony of this guy saying, well, you know, it's a free country. While at the same time, simultaneously making the argument that if it were up to him, it wouldn't be a free country because he would not allow you to be gay. In a third editorial written in 2004, Johnson argued against same-sex marriage, calling LGBTQ plus relationships inherently unnatural, which are actually quite natural, exist in the animal kingdom as well, and said it could lead to letting people marry their pets. Ah, yes, the whole, homosexuality leads to bestiality charge. Oh, yes, which is not proven anywhere. And in another written in 2004, he's called same-sex marriage, quote, the dark harbinger of chaos and sexual anarchy that could doom even the strongest republic. Dark harbinger of chaos. Wow. Wow. But let me just add.
Sexual anarchy.
I thought only Charlie Kirk said that. No, apparently it goes way back before Charlie Kirk. But look, that's a lot of his history. It's not all of it, but I think that's enough. Yet since joining the House, he's actually kept a pretty low profile. He's, again, a newer member, and yet still pushed heinous bills. Last December, he introduced a federal version of Florida's Don't Say Gay law, called the Stop Sexualization of Children Act, which, again, it doesn't, because Republicans tend to be the party that support child marriages. Now, the bill threatens to cut federal funding to libraries, school districts, hospitals, governmental entities, or other organizations for, quote, hosting or promoting any program, event, or literature involving sexually oriented material, including any topic involving gender identity, which is not sexually oriented, gender dysphoria, which again is not sexual, transgenderism, not sexual orientation, or related topics. So all of this, he equates to sex, to having it, to kink, to fetish. That tells me something. Tells me that in his head, he considers all of that to be that. Maybe because he's interested in it. I don't know personally, but that's just a theory. And get this, in a July hearing, Johnson, who serves as the chair of the House Judiciary Subcommittee on the Constitution and limited government, said that parents do not have the right to provide their children with access to gender-affirming health care. Do you understand? Limited government guy is saying, no, parents of trans children who want to care for their children, because it is shown that when you allow them to get gender-affirming care, that it actually reduces the suicidal ideation among LGBTQ youth. You know, it actually helps them live better lives, reduces depression, and all that stuff. No, Big Daddy government, we're going to come in and tell you that you can't do that. You can't be good parents. You can't support your kids. Limited government guy. Parents' rights guys. And yet, not in that respect. He's coming in and saying, instead of your parents being your parents, I'm your daddy now. And I'm saying you can't get gender-affirming care. Wow. He's going to make the decision on whether or not you can get that kind of health care. Funny how all these parents' rights and small government people really aren't for parents' rights. They're not for small government. They want to run your life. That's it. They just want to run your life. Which is probably why he also tried to undermine democracy by leading the charge to overturn the 2020 election alongside Donald Trump. But he didn't get he didn't get really the attention, the press that other people have gotten. Look, he doesn't believe in democracy, doesn't believe in freedom, doesn't believe in personal choice. He's wanted a national abortion ban from the point of fertilization, by the way. No, it's just like straight up like, no. As soon as the egg is fertilized, no abortion. None at all. Again, it bans abortion. It also would ban certain birth controls that prevent, a fertilized egg from implanting into the uterus. He's also against Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. During his tenure as chair of the Republican Study Committee between 2019 and 2011, Johnson helped craft budget resolutions that called for roughly $2 trillion in Medicare cuts, $3 trillion in Medicaid and Affordable Care Act cuts, and $750 billion in Social Security cuts. So they don't really care about that. And even attempted to blame abortion, that's right, Roe v. Wade, back in 2017, for Social Security supposedly running out of money, right? By saying that it is deprived, that abortion has deprived the U.S. of able-bodied workers. So, lack of forced births and lack of workers, because that's what they want, have more workers, have more soldiers, have more babies, so that, Social Security, and then says, well, we got to have cuts now because of Roe. Still going to go and try to, cut Social Security even now that we don't have Roe anymore. So I wonder what excuse he's going to come up with this time. But look, and again, it is an excuse because what they want to do is just cut off aid for poor people. That's it. This is the new leader of House Republicans. This is who represents them. And again, I think he is a perfect fit because this is who they are, and it's exactly what they want.